Hi, everybody. This is Pete Delatorre. I'm the host and creator of Pete Delatorre Show, and welcome to another Blockchain Talk. Today's program is brought to you by Blockchain Ecosystems, powered by CrowdPoint Technologies. My guest today and my co-host on all of these programs is Sean O'Brien Brehm. He is a co-founder and a chairman of CrowdPoint Technologies. And in today's session, we're going to talk about how to use your decentralized identity to help build your own portfolio of assets. So let's sit back and let's watch my conversation with Sean. All right, everybody, we continue Blockchain Talk, and today is session 9, where we're going to talk to Sean O'Brien Brehm, who's with me here again today, about something that I think will be of interest to all of you, which is building wealth on the blockchain. Sean, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going today?
Phenomenal, man. I'm excited. I'm thinking about all the bank accounts I'm going to be opening up, and I'm sure everybody's thinking the same thing. So, how can that happen, man? Well, how's that possible? And especially since we're talking about the regular guy, the regular lady, the regular person, they're hungry for this, to say the
Yeah.
least. They want to tap into opportunities. So let's talk about that, how that can really become a reality for them.
No, and I think last week we talked about the decentralized ID and the beginning on your journey, and I got pretty passionate about controlling your identity. So the idea is with the decentralized ID, let's first start saving money, and then let's start making money on top of that. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, once you have a decentralized ID, you now have a method of identity theft protection, which is a very important first step. But let's talk about saving money and making money. So right now, there's a great program in Africa. It's called Kiva, Kiva, and it was designed for people that couldn't get credit in really, really poor parts of the world. And it was a great vision. The idea behind this is right now, what if there was a way that was an immutable ledger where everything was truthful and it wasn't really controlled by credit agencies, but all your transactions were saved, but they were saved in your wallet that was immutable and transparent. In other words, it can't be faked. Well, now all of a sudden, as you're going through all your transactions, you really deserve more credit than you deserve than maybe some credit agency says, because look, I bought milk. I bought this. Look at all the money I've been spending. I've been spending it in verticals that power Wall Street today. So here's my purchase I made that were consumer discretionary. Here are the purchases that I made that are consumer staples. Here are the purchases that I made that are in healthcare. Here are the purchases I made that are in transportation. Here's the purchases I made in media entertainment. All of a sudden, you've got the ability to categorize your purchases. Mm-hmm. So what you're doing is you're starting to build a portfolio of who you are. And that portfolio was created by you for you. So now you've got a decentralized ID that's capturing all your transactions, but they're in your wallet. They talk about that commercial. What's in your wallet?
What's in your wallet? Yeah, another credit card.
What's in your wallet is something that's going to charge you a tremendous amount of interest while it's sitting in your wallet with fake points. Oh, I earned points. Let me go spend money so I get points. How about this? How about your portfolio of your financial transactions are already worth trillions to the global economy? Shouldn't you own it?
You know that, if I can interject real quickly here, I'm thinking about this, and it is just dawning on me right now that through my lifetime of spending money on different things, whether it's consumer products, whether it's business investments, whether it's vacations, going out to restaurants, every dollar that I spent through the years, it would be really interesting to see what's been my pattern, what do I like, and then start adding up the numbers, because yes, every consumer that spends money on whatever, every business that spends money on whatever, okay, is impacting the economy, okay, impacting the companies that they're buying from, right? And then thus impacting the economy as a whole. So we have been contributors to our local economy, state economies, national economies, and there is a tremendous value there that most of us don't quite know what that is.
Because you never had it on a ledger.
Because you never had it on a ledger. Exactly.
Never
Right.
had it on a ledger.
You
You don't
never had
have
it
bragging
tabulated.
rights.
Yeah.
You don't have bragging. Look, just everybody stop while you're watching this video and look to your left, look to your right, look around the room you're in and look at all the stuff that you have. Heck, I was thinking to myself today, I want to get rid of half of my stuff, right? Yeah, I'd like to be a little bit more minimalist now. But all that stuff, like right now, I'm looking at a book across the room that's an Ernest Hemingway book. It's an antique Ernest Hemingway book. It's one of my prized possessions. That's got sentimental value, but it's also got real value.
Yep.
All of that value right now, when you think about it, is not being stored very well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a very tangible example. Anybody ever gone into a yard sale? You ever been to a yard sale?
Mm-hmm. I've hosted yard sales as well. So
You ever been to a yard sale where you picked up something that was worth a lot more than they were asking for because they didn't understand the value?
they had no clue. Exactly.
Didn't you feel people feel a little bit guilty about that? I got a great deal. Wow. When you start taking your purchases and you start digitizing them and making them assets in your portfolio, the portfolio view is doggone valuable, not only for future purchases like they've done in Africa to extend credit, but can you imagine what yard sales are going to look like on the blockchain now? It's going to be immutable. And now all of a sudden we're in a situation where we get back into the good old concepts of barter or fair trade, fair value, the exploitation of others. Like, come on. Why should we be gleefully excited about taking advantage of someone who doesn't know the value? So when you put your things on the blockchain and you start pushing your purchases on the blockchain, it becomes like the forever proof of purchase. You know, all those receipts, all those things. But now all of a sudden, the details of your purchase are immutable. They're transparent. They're available. You want to resell them? You can. I mean, if you want to do an online blockchain yard sale, as it were. But here's what else it does. It shows you, and more importantly, others, the value of your identity, the value of the commerce that you're creating every day. And it's giving you the ability to understand how you're contributing to the global economy. You see, when you have a decentralized identification that's on a blockchain and the blockchain organizes your transactions by, let's say the S&P 500, 158 sub-industries, organized by sub-industry. So you buy a solar roof. That solar roof is part of renewable energies. Wow, there's tax credits for that. You buy an automobile. Wow, that's in consumer durables. All of a sudden, this is where I get so passionate again. I'm gonna get passionate again. You're driving the Wall Street right now. Why shouldn't every transaction you be purchasing be in the context of Wall Street so you can demonstrate to the world how you're really driving this economy, and you should get a lot more value than you're getting. You're not just some ID that you can schmooze and sell your identity and make money for you to buy something. No, doggone it. You're contributing to the best economy in the history of mankind, whether you live in Europe or the United States, and you should doggone get credit for it. Instead of just being seen as some stooge that writes a check, gives the credit card, what's in your wallet? No, brother, I'll tell you what's in my wallet. 15 years of financial transactions that prove I know that I'm doing the right things. What about you? You're going to give me a few points so I can basically get a free ice cream somewhere? Are you freaking kidding me?
Let me ask you a question. There are ways that you can track your purchases. Bank statements, they're itemized.
So a bank statement is a great ledger.
Credit card statements will tell you what you're purchasing or what you've purchased. Even cash sales, cash purchases, where if you're a real record keeper, you write down everything. So what is the difference of that world that we know of, the bank statements, the credit card statements, and there are people that put all that together and and if you talk to a good financial planner, they can categorize, your spending, your income. What is the difference between that and the blockchain?
Categorize your spending. You're merely putting it into big buckets. Mm-hmm. They're big buckets, whether or not they're you can get a refund on them or not. They're put into big buckets on what your household expenditures are, but they're not quantifying the value of that asset against Wall Street, against how Wall Street measures itself, you're basically a walking portfolio. Get off this call today and look at asset management and portfolio management. You now are managing your personal portfolio, which should prove where your value is to other people. Because now all of a sudden you got a portfolio that you know is valuable. And now you've got the ability to barter, trade, and negotiate for better value the next time you purchase something. That's not happening today.
No, and I'll tell you something regarding barterships and barters. I when I started as an entrepreneur 11, 12 years ago, I didn't have a whole lot, to offer and except some intangibles that I had, the value, my skill sets. So I was able to open up my business at the time and do certain things and offer certain things in exchange for, right? And I think that, and we had these conversations a couple sessions ago where by knowing and by having that ledger that is unique to us, okay, we will then know a heck of a lot better what our value is and how we can then, do trading, do barterships where that it's again win-win. We go back to that win-win for everybody.
Exactly, Pete.
Right?
Exactly. You look, you have so much value, and it's not quantified. It's not made tangible.
Right.
Every single one of us, whether you're making $10,000 a year or $14 million a year, there's value in everything you've done. The sum of the things that you've done are being forgotten. There's trends. There's things that you can justify. Well, you need to work with me because over the past 5 years, I bought this much stuff. So I think in the last session, I talked about water. I'm a huge bottled water drinker. So let me show you what I've done in the past. If you want my business, this is.
All righty. Tell us about the water.
The water. We talked about last week when we even gave the name of the brand, but let's talk about this. I like bottled water. I like mineral water. I grew up in Spain, so I'm a big mineral water guy, right? So I bought lots of bottled water in my day. And let's say one day that the company I'm currently working with, I'm not really happy with because they're not doing a good job in delivering my water on time. Well, now all of a sudden I can go to the market and go, I'm a bottled water drinker. Let me show you how much bottled water I've bought in the past. So when you look at me in the middle of my consumer staples, which is water, I have this much value. So instead of being treated like everybody else, I'm kind of a water guy. So I should get a water kind of guy discount. How about cars? Here's all the cars I've bought. Here's the kinds of cars I bought. Here's all the things. You know what? I'm kind of this kind of car kind of guy. What are you going to do for value to me? How about this? My wife, I'm kind of a drape kind of girl. I like to change drapes all the time. Like I got new drapes. I got blue drapes. I got yellow drapes. I got gray drapes. I got all kinds of drapes. All of a sudden now, it's not that you just were at one particular vendor where you built up credits on one particular vendor. You built up global credits. Now you're a drape person. Hey, what are you going to do for me? Because I'm a drape kind of customer. You want to earn my business? Here's immutable truth and transparent value of what I've done in my past. And you can go on and on and on and on. The decentralized ID, you now become an asset manager of your own assets, but more importantly, you become your own Wall Street portfolio manager and start negotiating better deals from vendors.
Well, like we were saying a little while ago, it gives you the ultimate negotiation power. You want to do business with me? I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to add more expenses, selling expenses, right, to you as a seller of products, right? I being the buyer, we can just cut to the chase, man. And that's what I'm thinking a lot with blockchain. It just cuts to the chase and eliminates all of the ambiguity, all the uncertainty about, who am I talking to? Is this a real life prospect? And at the same time, if I'm a buyer, is this guy, am I going to waste time, my time, their time, trying to figure things out? It's very clear so that we can, again, the right connection is made between buyer and seller at the right time for the right reasons.
You've got a portfolio that you've not leveraged your entire life. Now, in this session, last time we talked about new beginning. Well, what heck of a new beginning in 9 when you start monetizing, you are able to monetize And this, we're not the only ones thinking about this. There's a great program being done in Africa I talked about earlier
Right.
called the Kiva Project, KIVA,
Yeah.
where small businesses and consumers are getting credit based upon what they've done in the past. And it's not based on a single opinion. It's decentralized, but you're the owner. It's not like some credit bureau owns it now. No. Hey, this is my, hey, nice to meet you. How you doing today, Pete? I know Pete, you sell mangoes. Well, you know what? You might not know this, but I'm quite a mango eater. So let me take a look at my mangoes. Here's my portfolio of mangoes. Here's my purchases across actually, I'll tell you a real story. I'm a honey connoisseur. I can tell you the best honey. I don't know what it is, but I just like honey. My wife thinks it's funny. I'm like Winnie the Pooh. But I go to these honey companies, go, look, you might want to, I bought the most expensive honey in Hawaii. I bought the regular honey here. My favorite honey is this. It comes, actually, I'll give a plug for it. It's in Austin, Texas. It's a great honey. But you know what? I'm kind of a honey guy. So why don't you give me a deal? Give me a good sample or give me a good price on the first one. And you want to convert me over. Because right now that doesn't happen. Right now, they're unilaterally providing discounts to everybody. And those people may not be honey aficionados. Mm-hmm. Right. For me, I'm a bourbon aficionado and I've got my bourbons. I'm really hard to get me to go to another bourbon. But if you got a bourbon and you've got something that's similar to the bourbon I like, I'm for real. And you can sit there and go, well, this guy's spending a lot of money on bourbon. We're just not going to give a general coupon for everybody. We're going to give a coupon for Pete De La Torre. This is yours, Pete. Unique. You're unique. You've got unique value. But you can't do that until you put yourself as a decentralized ID and start building your assets and start building your portfolio value.
So we've been talking about saving money. So how, and maybe we've overlapped a little bit in the making money.
Now the making money becomes even more fun, right? So once you start saving money because you've proven you've got a portfolio of assets that you've bought in the past, now you can start making money. Now me, you, and a few friends of ours can get together and go, you know what? We're all bourbon drinkers. Tell you what, why don't we start having people pay us to present us their advertisement? They pay us for our time. We in South Florida, we represent a pretty good buying volume right now in bourbon. So you tell you what, we're busy kind of guys. So let us get on Zoom. We'll sit back with their existing bourbon and you pay us for our time.
Mm-hmm. Just like an athlete endorses products.
Yeah, you're more valuable. An athlete's no more value than you. They're just as much a child of God as you are. Everybody's got value.
Exactly.
So now all of a sudden, all the like-minded. Now I know, I'm a big cigar guy too, right?
Me too.
So I know you and I talk about cigars. So you and I get together, we create the Cigar Aficionado group of South Florida, and all of a sudden, people pay us for our time to do a presentation. You know what? I'd really like to present to you a presentation to you and your fellow aficionados there in South Florida, and we'd like to pay you for your time. Great. Love to hear it.
It's win-win.
Win-win.
It's win-win. And we're creating revenue sources that we never would have considered, we never would have thought about, because we have created our decentralized identity.
Correct.
It goes back to that. So that's step numero uno is primero getting that. And we talked about individuals that will sponsor you to get you set up, correct?
Yep. You want to make
sure Crown Point is doing that, correct?
That's what we're doing. What we've been doing is hopefully you get to know Pete and I over the past 9 sessions. Wow. 9 sessions of what we are. You've met some of the members of our team, right? People from Finland, people from Serbia, Sweden, Texas, New Jersey, California, and Montana, South America. They're just average people. I'm an average person. You're an average person. We're all average when you take a look at all the attributes on the human planet. Here's the good news. You're not unique. We're all average. So that's the beautiful thing about it. Recognize that we're all average people, but when we come together, that's when the power happens. That's when the uniqueness of each one of us gets amplified. That's when special things happen. So we're just going to market saying, we believe in the power of you. You're the most important creation in the history of time. There's never been one like you, and there'll never be one like you again. And so let's go ahead and celebrate who you are. Let's give you the value you're worth. Let's you save money and then make money on top of the money you saved already.
And keep spreading the good word and allow others to do the same thing. And it just grows from there.
You don't
That's
you don't need to spend $199 to belong to Johnny's Club. I didn't use the real name, obviously, but go to Johnny's Club so you can buy things in bulk. Are you kidding me? You've already demonstrated you bought things in bulk. Why are you basically paying someone to buy things in bulk when they should be paying you to come to them?
That's right. And I have to pay a membership on top of that.
I know.
This is fantastic. Sean, I mean, this is great. And we've got a handful of sessions remaining and this go around.
Yep.
As we said before, we're just starting to scratch the surface on all of that. Because,
we haven't even begun to talk about the whole concept of the blockchain, which is cryptography. And cryptography allows you to do things securely. Right now, cryptography has been used primarily in the blockchain for cryptocurrency. But what we're going to end up talking about pretty soon is crypto value, which is real exciting.
Crypto value. And that this really does have a value. My friend, thank you so much. This is phenomenal. Again, I mean, I'm repeating myself, but what the heck? I'm excited. I'm entitled to that. So thank you so much, man. And we're gonna meet again in session 10, and we'll have some more surprises for everybody along the way.
Awesome. God bless you. Have a great week.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Once again, I am absolutely wowed. What an opportunity for every single one of us to not only save money, but make money on the blockchain. Thanks to Sean O'Brien Bren for more great information today. Of course, this program is on every week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel, Pete Delatorre. I'm going to ask you to follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and if you got a moment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pete Delatorre. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm really excited about session 10 coming up next week. So stay with us. Have a great week and take care.